Okay, oops, there's a mistake there. Hey, welcome guys, welcome to the show. So today, as you saw just now, well, since I already put it up, so I'm going to put it up here again. What we're going to be talking about, why is Bitcoin important. Now, I'm very, very honored to have my friend here, my friend Dunstan. He's the Bitcoin OG. Now, what is Bitcoin OG? I didn't know what OG stood for initially. I went online, I was like, I thought OG meant old guy. I was like, why is Dunstan calling himself an old guy? Or so I found out that it means in internet slang, it means original gangster, someone who's been in it for a long time. So then, okay, I am today years old when I found that OG means original gangster. So without further ado, right? But what we're gonna do today, okay, is that I'm gonna bring that slide out again. So what we are gonna talk about today, it really is about why is Bitcoin important, okay, and also we're gonna talk a little bit about is this a scam, right? So we hear a lot about Bitcoin. There's a lot of people that don't know anything about Bitcoin. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're also going to find out a little bit about whether is it safe for investment? Is it a good tool? How can you protect your Bitcoins that you have? And there's a lot of things that we're going to cover. So for Dunstan, he's been around the whole business of the whole Bitcoin business for a very, very long time. But what I really, really like about him is that he's able to distill all this very complicated stuff into dumb speak so people like me can understand. So he makes it very, very simple for people like me to understand. And I thought, you know what, for someone like him who I've met, he doesn't have airs about him, even though he's been in it for so long. He makes it a point to bring across or share the importance of Bitcoin to many people. And I think today that's something I'm very, very privileged to have. So today we're going to have him on the show. So before that, I just want to, well, not before that, we're going to bring out very, very shortly. Yeah.
Not a smooth talker under pressure. Sweaty palms ain't making it much better. Something about you feels so special. Pretty over from the minute that I met you.
So with that very, very long intro, there we go. And this is my friend Dunstan. Say hi, Dunstan.
Hey, yo.
Yeah,
hey, everyone.
Hey, so we have now we have like 4 million people who are tuning in right now. So guys, for the people who are tuning in right now, please feel free to say hi, drop a comment, and so that we know you're on with us, watching with us. So feel free to leave a comment down below so that we'll know I can put up your comment online as well. So Dunstan, so this is maybe we can just share a little bit with a Bitcoin, our Bitcoin OG Dunstan. How long can you just share a little bit about yourself, man?
Okay, I was an early miner in the Bitcoin space. After that, I decided to go into OTC, set up a factory over the counter where we buy and sell Bitcoins peer to peer, actually, not via exchanges and so on. Another one, what happened was I actually entered the space accidentally. Like most of the people out there who came into Bitcoin, I was a gamer. And I downloaded a game that was a bit like Donkey Kong, and well, while I was playing, I didn't know that it was doing such a thing called mining. So what happened was it was generating some assets. It was generating some credits to me. So game credits are easy for, like, gamers, right? But yeah, then found out that it was called Bitcoin, and I was telling some of my friends who I was gaming with, hey, let's also play this game and mine Bitcoin together. And of course, some of them were like, no, let's carry on with the game. Well, in fact, all of them did that. Okay. So most of them missed out on that first opportunity. Then also set up a factory in China, which was using the Chinese to play professionally computer games and selling the game accounts to people all around the world. And we were using Bitcoin as a form of transaction, actually. It was then I found that Bitcoin was extremely useful.
Wow. Okay. So you didn't buy any pizza with that, right?
No, but but this is even worse. It could be worse than Lazarus, actually.
Okay.
One virtual item could be worth 10 to 30,000 Bitcoins. Guess how many virtual items we bought and sold along.
Ouch. Okay. That was when things we never knew. We don't know where Bitcoin would be, and then now we are today, so there's a very big change. So hey, we are so thankful that for the people who are joining us. So we have Colbert, right?
Hey, thanks, bro.
Yeah. So he's a definitely a fan of you, right? So he says must support OGs. Okay. Hey,
Combat is also another old guard in the space, man. Another original gangster.
all right, man. So we have all the original gangsters here. I got to be careful because you're gangsters. I got to be careful what I say. Okay. And then, oh, we're good to see my brother over here. So, okay, and Charmaine, good to see you, and so good to see you as well. So we have a few people who are tuning in at the same time. So with that being said, right? So, guys, so that's with that being said, let's maybe just getting straight to the topic, right? So when it comes to Bitcoin itself, I just want to ask, what is really Bitcoin? We're talking a little bit about what's Bitcoin. After some people ask, why is it valuable, or really is it real money, and why do people actually use it? So from your perspective, what is all this? I'm going to questions below. You can see that, right? So what's your point of view?
Okay, I'm gonna mix all these questions together. Actually, in fact, these four questions all have a couple of. They're all linked together. So right now I have here with me is the Singapore $2, right?
Yep.
Even better would be the American $20.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are called fiat money, FIAT. Now, these are actually promissory notes, which means that somebody promised you that you can buy stuff with this. Yeah. There's zero censorship in this show, right, Asher? So I'm free to swear and whatever, right? And just be myself, right?
Be yourself,
okay, cool. Okay, cool. So technically, right, this thing, for lack of a better word, is not as real as what we thought it was. Originally, this money was actually pegged to gold, and that was where it had true value.
Mm-hmm.
But this current form that it has right now has no real value because it was already pegged from gold, and you can print as much as you can. In fact, America just printed trillions of dollars just to try to save their own economy. Now, when they start printing, what happens is this. Do you all know how money is actually generated or created in the first place?
How money is generated or created?
Yeah.
I know someone prints it so far. So
right. So actually, money is actually created when we the people actually generate debt. For example, if I want to buy a house that's worth $1 million, in a sense, I have generated $1 million worth of debt. The Federal Reserve can actually print $1 million new money out because that was the debt that was actually created. So every piece of money, right, in a sense, is actually just generated from credit, from debt. Yeah, which is why, the credit card companies, the banks and so on are so particular about credit ratings and so on, whether they want to loan you and such, because this thing is actually tied to that. Yeah, so this is the true form of our money right now in our current world, which, for lack of a better word, is extremely fucked up.
Okay.
Okay, why I say that? Because, let's just take our Singapore $2. This right now currently can buy me half a plate of chicken rice.
Yep.
This year, 2020, the year of COVID, right?
Yep.
But 2 years down the road, can the same $2 buy me half a plate of chicken rice? What do you think?
I think it could get you some rice.
Yeah.
Part of the chicken.
Yeah, part of a chicken rice. It can't even give you half the plate of chicken rice anymore, right? Yeah. But did the chicken store holder give you more chicken to begin with? Did the chicken grow extra legs? Was there more rice in and so on? Nothing about the original plate of chicken rice changed, right? So which means that the true value of that plate of chicken rice did not change. So what changed?
The value of this.
The value of this thing, which is scary. This to me, right, looks, I see it as institutional robbery of value, actually. Because while me and you, we do this, while me and you, like we spend our lives, we build this, we earn money and so on. Somebody else can tell us what this thing is worth. And that's very scary. Another one classic example I like to tell people is this. I have friends in Venezuela. I'm sure you all have read a lot of news about Venezuela, right? And these friends in Venezuela are real USD millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
They are not millionaires in their Venezuelan dollars. They are real USD millionaires.
Right.
But in one day, their banks told them that everything they have in the bank is worthless.
Huh.
Some of them have spent 30 years of their lives finally becoming a millionaire. You know, like that's what a lot of us Singaporeans want to do, right? You know, we want to be a millionaire. Yeah. But in one day, the bank told them, you know, all your life's effort is gone.
Wow. How can that actually happen?
The value of their fiat just literally eroded and just decimated to close to zero.
Okay.
And the banks don't allow them to cash out their money.
Wow, that is so messed up, man. That is so messed up. Imagine, I mean, I would imagine if in this current situation, right, that we're in Singapore right now with the COVID, you know, then suddenly all the money in our banks that we have right now is worth nothing. So I'm like, of course we will panic. So I'm surprised that I haven't heard Venezuela going completely havoc. I'm pretty sure
They are in havoc, actually.
they are. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, and this is the reason why Bitcoin exists. To the Venezuelans, right?
Hmm.
Bitcoin is like a lifesaver, actually. They are now using Bitcoins to do transactions. So, a simple way of explaining Bitcoin is actually this: Bitcoin is actually us, the common layman's version of our freedom to transact.
Okay.
A freedom that cannot be censored because this is just code. As long you have access to the internet, you have access to your paper wallets and so on, you have access to any of these, or even just a simple phone, you would be able to transact using Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is what I truly believe Bitcoin is: the freedom to transact.
All right. So
Yeah.
with that being said, right, because I think there are some people that know this. I mean, they may even say there's already a lot of other what they call alternate coins. You know,
Right.
there's all the different alternate coins. But why is like Bitcoin the coin to use for transaction instead of other coins?
Okay. Currently there are many alternate coins out there, and they are used for transactions too. But why is it that Bitcoin is the one that's mainly used in this sense? Is because firstly, it was the grandfather of all like cryptocurrencies, right? It was the first public and open one in a sense. But the biggest thing is this: because of the whole Bitcoin ecosystem, nobody is truly controlling Bitcoin, which means that nobody can tell you whether you can or cannot transact using Bitcoin.
Mhm.
Whether or not it's legal or not legal doesn't really matter in a sense to countries that actually need to transact. For example, it's no longer legal in Venezuela to transact using Bitcoins.
Mm-hmm.
But are the people still doing it?
Yeah, they are. I
Yeah.
believe.
You know why they are? It's because they have to. They have no choice.
Mm. Okay. So that means whatever Bitcoin is like a something of actual value for them in case the fiat currency fails. Am I right?
Whether or not the fiat currency fails or don't fail, right? They have figured out that Bitcoin actually allows them to transact with one another, buy services, share services, and so on, buy and sell goods. They know that that is a currency that they can depend on, that the governments, the banks can't stop.
Mm.
So to them, it is more important. It doesn't matter what's the price of Bitcoin to them.
Okay, okay. So that's a very good way to explain what is a Bitcoin and why is it so valuable, lah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but there's a question though, that is it actually still real money? Because now when it comes to, at least for us, at least for me, when
Yeah.
to me money is fiat currency, it's kind of a little bit
Right.
hard for me to equate something that I cannot actually see or touch as actual currency, right? Is it real money though?
Okay, then let me ask you about the numbers in your bank.
Mm.
Okay, maybe a person has a normal Singapore maybe have around $50,000 in their bank as savings.
If that's the normal Singaporean, I feel Singaporean. I feel so
Okay,
bad, Singaporean.
okay, maybe 10,000, man. It could be worse for me, man. It could be just $1. But okay,
Yeah.
let's just see the total amount of money in their bank. The bank is supposed to keep a full amount of that money in the bank, right?
Yep.
Let's say I have 1,000 people, 1,000 accounts inside, each one has 50,000.
Mm.
So that would be $50 million in the bank.
Yep.
But what happens is the banks doesn't keep $50 million in the bank. They take most of the funds, close to 80% of the funds, and they do transactions with it. They do lending, they buy assets, they invest, and so on.
Yep.
So the number that you see in your bank account, ain't it also not physical?
Yep. Yep. True. True.
You
It's
can't
just
see
the
it
numbers
also.
on the screen anyway.
Yeah, it's just numbers on the screen.
Mm.
All we can hope is that whenever we want to take out the cash, we can.
Mm. Yep.
But what happens if everyone, I don't even say everyone, 50% of the people that has bank in banks try to take out their funds in the bank in one day? What will happen?
I
The
think.
same thing that happened to Greece, right, would have happened.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
banks cannot withdraw. ATM that cannot withdraw. You just keep pressing,
yeah.
nothing's coming out. Mm.
Well, you just shoot air.
Yep. Yep.
So this is our current financial ecosystem.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So wow, you in just a short. This is just a very very simple question, man. I didn't expect you to go so deep. My gosh, guys. I mean, if you guys if are tuning in right now, okay, so give us a like, give us a heart, or give us a comment anywhere, right? Just to let. I mean, just want to thank Dunstan for sharing so much information about this because for me, even though I know a little bit about it, I don't know so much. Okay, my friend over here, he knows a lot, and it makes it very easy, at least for me to understand. But if there's any of you that have any questions, please feel free to drop a question below, and so that we can actually bring it up. So, like, oh, my brother actually asked you. I think you mentioned about it earlier. So, what is the game that you're talking about that can mine all these coins? I think maybe if I could, we could start playing the game now to get some of those bitcoins. Yeah.
Yeah, but no longer can you use a game to mine Bitcoin. You can't even use graphic cards to mine Bitcoin already because
Oh.
now the size of each. So this is where the idea of blockchain coming in. With more and more transactions, more and more blocks of data are being produced. Now the size of each block is high. The size of the length of the chain is so long that normal processors can't manage the transactions anymore.
So can you just go a bit, maybe explain it a bit more easier in easier terms to understand what do you mean by mining and what do you mean by maybe this is actually one of the questions we'll ask later. So maybe we shift to
Correct.
that later, right?
Yeah, we shift it later.
Shift it later, okay. But with that being said, when it comes to the crypto world, right, the currency itself, right, we notice there's a crap load of scams. My gosh, there's so many scams. I mean, we have like literally exchanges online. They say it's like the most famous, I believe, is this thing called Mount Gox, right?
Yeah.
Where they kind of gouged everybody's money and it's just like, woo, I don't know. I don't know
They
what.
just disappeared, right?
Yeah, they just disappeared. So it's like, and if we're not talking about small sums of money, we're talking about wow, this insane amounts of money, all gone. And then it's like, so we have a whole bunch of cryptocurrency scam that's ongoing. So is still Bitcoin a good investment, or is it too late or too early, right? Or for someone to start investing, is it safe to invest? And also legality, or is it like kind of like gambling? Because the Bitcoin is like high, you will hit about I think 10, 20K previously, 20K. Today I think it's
Yep.
about 9K. So it's like, if it goes down, afterwards we put a bet. Okay, it's gonna go up, something like that. So, what's your take?
Okay, so maybe I talk about the scams first. Actually, my main thing is this: scams are in every industry on earth, especially when it comes to the finance industry or anything that pertains to money, value, and so on.
Mhm.
Right? We even have scams on Amazon. We have scams, financial scams using fiat. We even have banks engaging in such scams also. Right, like they manipulate the market, stocks exchanges, hedge funds, and so on. Now, whether or not something is a scam, right, is whether or not they get caught actually.
Huh. Okay.
It-
Okay.
it's a matter of that. Like, say, for example, right, there's a lot of MLM out there, but
Right.
are they scams?
hmm
What about the MLMs that, they miscalculated their funds and they cannot pay out?
hmm
And they get caught. So that is when they become a scam, you see.
Yep.
Yeah, and there are some things that looks like scams, and there are some things that look legit, but actually vice versa. They are what they are the polar opposites of what they are, right? So this is my take on scams. True, the blockchain industry is filled with a lot of scams, just like every other industry. We are a lot more focused on by the media because we are an extremely small industry. The whole market cap of the whole blockchain space, right, of all the altcoins and bitcoins add together, might not even be the size of Apple, which is just one company in the world.
Mm.
Yeah, which also makes manipulation of prices easy for those with funds.
Mm.
Mhm. And it also makes the entry point is extremely easy because there's so little information about Bitcoin, about blockchain when I started in the earlier days. By now, right, although there's a lot of information, but there's a lot of misinformation out there. It's extremely difficult to tell what is real and what is not real,
Okay.
right? Yeah, like so many people claim to be experts in the space. They
Mm.
don't even understand the architecture of the blockchain. All they can do is sprout out what they read from Google or some white papers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but yet certain countries have adopted some of these advisors as advisors to them.
Hmm.
Now, is that a scam? Is that
I, w-
legal?
I would say for the people who actually have no idea what it is, they're just trying to grasp at whatever information they got. So to them, I guess not. But
Yeah,
it's kind of like fake it till you make it. you
yeah,
know?
pretty much actually. So
Yeah.
a large part of this industry is actually a fake it till you make it, just like the influencer industry, right?
Mm.
Yeah, they keep saying, I have a Lamborghini, but but they rented a Lamborghini or they took photo beside a Lamborghini, right? So
Yeah. Hey, it's not cheap to rent a Lamborghini actually.
or just take a photo beside the Lamborghini.
Yeah. True. Just don't look at a number plate, right? So like cover the plate itself, license plate. So,
Correct.
mm,
Or you borrow from your friend or something like that. So
yeah.
yeah. So these are scams, you see.
Mm,
So
okay.
this is what I believe the space is about. Now let's take a look at whether or not Bitcoin is actually a good investment and whether or not it's legal. Firstly, whether or not it's a good investment and whether or not it's legal, right, doesn't coincide actually. It's
Mm,
about belief. It's about how you think and how you want your future to be. Countries have stated that Bitcoin was illegal. They have also, the same countries have also stated that Bitcoin was legal a couple of months later or years later. That
okay.
is so, which means that what they did was they actually reduced your personal choice by telling you that it's either legal or illegal. To me, it doesn't really matter actually. It's more of a freedom of speech, a freedom of belief in whether or not you want it or you don't want it. So I think legality is not a problem, to be honest.
Mm,
Why I say that? Okay, remember talking about the Venezuelans?
yeah.
It's illegal.
Yep.
But do they believe in it? Yes, they do, because it saved their lives.
Mm-hmm.
But in maybe like in a first world country like Singapore, whether or not it's legal or not legal might be important to us. Why? Because we are afraid of we are afraid of the authorities. We are afraid that the tax department might come knocking on our door and you have a lot of bitcoins and we want to tax you and so on. That
Mm,
sort of stuff. But that's a question which I feel isn't that important. The important thing is this: whether or not Bitcoin is important to you.
mm.
Yep.
Okay, so if you're saying whether Bitcoin is important to you, that's in terms of investment, right? Because I think a lot of people equate Bitcoin right now to fiat still. That's the way I
Yep.
believe
Correct.
to identify with. They still identify Bitcoin to fiat. They equate Bitcoin to $9,000. They equate
Correct.
Bitcoin to $20,000, stuff like that.
Correct.
So how do you address something like that then?
Yeah. So that is actually something in which us in the OGs in the space or those supporters of Bitcoin we want to change,
Mm-hmm.
because the inherent problem is this: it wasn't
Yep.
Bitcoin. It wasn't the price of Bitcoin whether it was high or low. The inherent problem was actually this bugger that's causing a lot of problems. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I said just now. So technically, when people start trading, when they start investing in a sense in Bitcoin, then that is where they start looking at the dollar value, you see. Because if a person invests, what they actually want is actually to get more fiat.
Yes, correct.
Right. It's not to get more Bitcoins, you see.
Yep.
But for us OGs, what we actually believe is when we buy, we actually want the Bitcoin, not the fiat. So it's a different mentality altogether.
Mm.
But if you see it as an investment, I would still say that it is a good investment. Why? This is a deflationary product. There is a fixed number of this of Bitcoins actually. You can't print more than 21 million Bitcoins. It will
Okay.
never go more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So,
fiat you can consistently print.
okay. So is that kind of like saying, I mean, from my understanding, right? Bitcoin is kind of like gold,
Yep,
right? So you're kind of like accumulating a lot of gold. You're just like doing trading where you're just accumulating a whole bunch of gold. And then
yep,
in the future, let's say that the currency in the future, if let's say it's back still at currency, you can trade this gold or this Bitcoin for actual that day's currency. Or in the future, it may come to the point where everybody stops using currency and everybody uses Bitcoin or gold. Is that right?
correct. So
Ah,
there will be two possibilities, you see. And either way, any of this possibility tells you that this is actually a good investment.
right. So that means it's actually a pretty safe investment tool if you're
In
looking at it.
the long run, in the long space. If you are talking about like within the week, within the month, then yeah, see, Claudia is there also. Hi, Claudia. Yes, it is the best investment in your lifetime, in anybody's lifetime, actually.
Mm. Yeah.
So this is technically what's going to happen. More and more people that are from all around the world, they start to understand that, hey, every other asset class out there cannot outperform this asset class,
Mm,
Bitcoin. I'm not talking about the other cryptocurrencies. I'm just talking about Bitcoin alone.
right. Okay. Okay. So Koba is very nice. So he says I should have other lessons. Hey, thank you so much for the thank you very much. Thank you very much. I
Hey,
tried. I
Colbert will
tried.
get Axel to do it also. Yeah, Colbert will be another good guest also. He's one of the
Okay.
OGs in the space also.
I will be honored. I will be honored, man. Yeah, Koba, maybe we just talk on live sometime, right? So yeah, okay. So Uncle A, Uncle B, Uncle C. Okay, I think you're referring to
Internal joke, man.
internal joke. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, never
yeah.
share, never share.
Q&A before and ask me anything. So yeah, a lot of fun things came out from the ask me anything section.
All right, all right. Okay, so all right, but then when it comes to earlier, we are talking about the legality. I think one of the things that you actually shared before, okay, for the friends who are guys who are watching, right, just to let you know that even for Dunstan, he's actually an author for one of the books over here. Let me just show you here. So this is he actually wrote the Bitcoin Dystopia. It's available on Amazon. So for this itself, when he wrote this book itself, that was like a year ago. Was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's one story. One of the chapters. I find it very interesting. Was that the sometime back when a lot of these bitcoins were in the dark web, right? Then
Yes.
afterwards, it was when the FTC or something, basically the American authorities seized the main guy that's in charge of this dark web, because the dark web. Maybe you can share this. So you know what getting at, right? Yeah. So what happened was that they what was deemed illegal, the bitcoins, because back then in there they use it for drugs, for assassinations and stuff like that, right? And
Yeah, buying nuclear.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
command and conquer, nuclear
Yeah,
launch.
you could have gotten weaponized uranium actually in the dark web also at that point of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can, that means it's kind of like a game, is it? You find it for games. There's like, oh, now you got actual uranium weapon. You're like, I thought it was a game icon. No, it's a real one. Oops. Okay, but yeah, please go ahead. Because how did they make it legal? This is something I found it very interesting to look at.
So technically, they didn't care whether the assets were. They deemed the activities of the Silk Road, the dark web itself, being illegal, but they didn't deem the asset itself being illegal. So what they did was they auctioned off the assets. Actually, they auctioned off the Bitcoin that was being used in the dark web. And then, of course, famous people like Tim Draper and such, they actually auctioned and bought it. Yeah, so this is what I understand And this is where suddenly a switch just turned, just switched on in my head. And then I start to understand that whether or not it's legal or illegal, it doesn't really matter anymore, because it's being said to be legal anytime they want it to be legal. For example, do you all know that a $600 billion hedge fund has now acquired Bitcoin?
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and quite a few sovereign funds in the world has Bitcoin in their portfolio.
I'm pretty
We are
sure they.
talking, yeah, we are talking about sovereign wealth funds, the largest funds on earth. And if they are acquiring, is it a bad investment to us?
No, it wouldn't be. Yeah. So in this case, that kind of answers the next question: whether is it gambling or not, right? So it's kind of like gambling on a house. I don't know. Is that the kind of?
Hodling. So in the blockchain space, in the Bitcoin space, we have this meme called hodling, hold for your dear life. Yeah. So we, us, many of us, original gangsters, we actually just keep our Bitcoins. We don't sell. We don't use. So with that, and I always like to teach the new people, do a dollar cost averaging. Every month, buy a small amount. You don't care about the price, just buy, just acquire.
Okay. Okay. And
Then you are
yeah.
not gambling.
Okay. So because you buy some Bitcoin, Cobra says you can buy unlimited amount of roti prata
And pizzas, my brother.
and pizzas. Yeah. So true. You can get fractions of it if you can buy one. That's true. That's true. So. Well, we have good. There are a lot of fans over here. I love the comments that they put in for you. So we have this question. Okay, so I think this is a very good question that's asked very. Okay, I think my brother's here asking. So what's the risk of Bitcoin?
Okay, the biggest risk will be if you are thinking in terms of USD prices, in fiat prices, there will always be volatility and fluctuation. Another risk would actually be the holder not knowing how to secure their Bitcoins, or or they share information online and people hack them and so on. But just like what happens in banks, and like nowadays with 2FA scams and so on, yeah, these are cybersecurity issues and personal knowledge issues. The last would be whether or not your government deems Bitcoin as legal or illegal, and whether or not when they deem it to be illegal, you still believe in it. So these are the main risks in Bitcoin.
Okay, interesting. So I think Nicholas is this one asks you. Hi, Nicholas. Good to see you. Hey, bro. He asked you a very interesting question. So, what fundamentals would change for you to jump the Bitcoin ship? Huh. Interesting angle.
Mm, This is a very good question. I don't ever think or believe that I would ever jump the ship. I've been in this space for 11 years. I have not sold any of my Bitcoins, so I don't think I would jump ship actually. The only buying and selling time was when I had that factory in China, buying and selling like game virtual goods and characters and so on. Yeah,
Very expensive. Very expensive.
very expensive virtual goods. But
Oh
no,
my.
I will not jump ship actually, because I actually believe that Bitcoin and the Bitcoin community will change the financial world. It's just a matter of time.
Do you think it will happen in our lifetime though?
I hope so. I have my beliefs. Other people are doubting, but COVID is actually helping. Yeah,
Ah,
and failed economies are actually helping us actually.
really?
Like Venezuela, like Europe, like do you all know that in Rome, even businesses cannot transact more than $2,000 daily? How are you going to run a business with a cash flow of $2,000?
Yeah, you can't. My gosh.
And if you're using Bitcoin, they can't stop you from like transacting more than that amount.
Okay. So you mean if let's say you're running a business and you are transacting more, you cannot transact more than 2,000.
Bank doesn't allow you to transact more than that, two or
Huh.
3,000.
Wow. That's gonna kill businesses.
Yeah, and in fact, with the COVID, it killed like maybe say like 50% of all SMEs on earth.
Yeah, they definitely have. I mean, a lot of SMEs have definitely got hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being said, so right, when it comes to, I think it's a very good question that my bro here is also asking, like who can buy bitcoins, which also ties to the next question I have over here, right? So how can we actually buy or sell bitcoins? Because now you're talking about, we've kind of talked a little bit earlier about Bitcoin is a safe investment tool. It's a good idea to take the money that we have to buy a lot of these bitcoins, and then for future, to kind of future proof yourself, right? So it's a good investment to protect yourself against all the different problems that you might face. But if you are going, how can you with that being said, right, how can you buy or sell more bitcoins? How can you create bitcoins? How to earn bitcoin fast in this day and age that we're living in? And of course, I think this question which that I push to now is, what is mining? What's the meaning of it, and what do you mean by blockchain and no longer and stuff? I don't know. So yeah.
Okay, so technically, right, I think explaining blockchain, there's a lot of YouTubers and a lot of Google resources out there that you can search. Um, Usually, when it comes to Bitcoin, I kind of don't want to explain to people about the tech behind it. Why I say that is because to us, these tech are actually not important.
Mm.
It is the belief, it is the ability to, the freedom to transact that's more important. I mean, I can talk about mining, but it's gonna draw on another series actually.
Mm.
And because also of different ways in which people are mining, like what China is doing, Russia is doing, but I will touch a bit on it. The most important thing that we have right now here is about buying and selling of bitcoins.
Yep.
It is extremely easy to buy and sell bitcoins right now because there are many local websites, there are many local exchanges in different countries. For example, Singapore, you can buy it from Xfirst, CoinHaku, Binance Singapore, and so on. Get yourself KYC, and you can buy your Bitcoin. You can even go to the Bitcoin ATM that's found in Chinatown. I will pass, yeah, I'll pass Asher the link and the place where you can actually buy Bitcoin. But funny thing is, there's always some police officers there. Don't be alarmed. They just want to make sure that you don't get scammed because
Ah.
because there are some people that actually scam others and get them to buy Bitcoin and transfer Bitcoin to them. Yeah. So this is the reason why the officers are there. They are there to help the Singapore citizens. So creation of Bitcoin is actually pretty simple. Whenever, okay, so this is where we need to talk about mining and so on.
Okay.
Whenever a Bitcoin is whenever miners they verify transactions, miners are actually just think of them as processors, whether or not it's graphic processors, CPU processors, and so on. But they are dedicated processors. When they actually verify transactions, what they do is they also settle algorithms also, and in that
So
process,
that means you're saying, like, let's say for example, if I want to, let's say you happen to be one day selling chicken rice, so I'm going to buy chicken rice from you and I use Bitcoin.
correct.
So they need to solve something there. What do you mean by that?
Correct. The miners would actually be the ones that will verify whether the transaction is legit or not legit. So has they verified enough transactions, right? Has they support the whole Bitcoin network in a sense? So what happens is the chances of them generating this thing called a Bitcoin increases. The larger we call them hash power. The larger the hash power they have, the higher the chance of generating the next new Bitcoin.
Okay.
So yeah, so of course we talk about the halving and so on, but that will be another set of information actually. So when they generate enough Bitcoin, what they do is they actually sell off the Bitcoin because they need to resolve their OPEX. They need to handle right? Because when you use CPU, GPU, and so on, or when you use dedicated miners, you actually need a lot of electricity.
Mm.
Yeah. So they actually need to pay for operations costs. So
Okay.
this is a rough idea of mining Bitcoin actually. It used to be extremely easy. You download a client or a program or a game like what I did last time, and it started to verify transactions. Yeah. So when that happens, we generated a lot of Bitcoins in the earlier days. But in our current situation, because the Bitcoin blockchain is now so long, there is no way for a non-dedicated processor to be able to mine Bitcoins already. Even if you use a graphic card right now, it will take most probably 1,000,000 years to generate one Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yep.
So point number 3 is gone case. How do you earn Bitcoin fast?
Just buy them. You can't earn them.
Okay. Just buy. That's the good answer, right? So very short answer to a very short question. Just buy. Don't bother.
I don't recommend investing in cloud mining activities because many of them are actually scams. I'm not saying all of them.
How do you determine that whether it's a scam or not?
Well, whether you get your Bitcoins in the long run, right?
Oh yeah, okay. True. That's true. Okay, so what your bro? Thank you so much for this. Hey guys, if you guys are enjoying this sharing by Dunstan, please give a heart, give a like, give a thumbs up. And I there are some comments that's coming up, and I know you shared some comments because I intentionally left them because it's just very interestingly we're going to talk a little bit about cryptocurrency safety. How is we're going to talk about how to be secure with your coins because you bought them, you traded them, you exchanged them, you want to make sure you want to protect them, right? So some questions came up earlier. It's like let's see if it comes to Colbert. So Colbert was asking, what's your favorite Bitcoin wallet that you're at?
Hey bro, definitely the Ledger, man.
Ledger. What's a ledger?
The Ledger is actually a we call it cold wallet itself. It's a cold storage device. So we actually store the private keys in the ledger itself. Yeah,
So
it's actually
what do you
just like
mean by cold
it's a
storage?
USB device. So there's such a thing called hot storage and cold storage. Hot storage means that we actually think of it as your spending account and your savings account. I always recommend for people to have one of each. Okay, the same way where we should have our banks, a spending account and a saving account. Now, so the cold wallet is actually your savings account. Your hot wallet is your spending account. Now, so this the best way to actually secure, right? Well, for me myself, what I actually feel is to have it minted on a piece, have your private keys minted on a piece of metal, and put it in a
piece
vault.
of metal. Wow.
Yeah. So we call that a paper wallet system.
Okay.
Yeah. So we print your private key, have it being printed on a metal piece, and you put it in a vault. That's the safest way. But of course, there are other simpler, cheaper ways to go about doing it. The easiest way for a common person to actually have would be to spend maybe around 100 plus to buy a ledger.
Because I don't think a lot of people will have enough Bitcoins to kind of like, I want to put all of my coins in one vault in Venezuela, not Venezuela, like Switzerland. I put in Switzerland. Right? Yeah. Afterwards, it's like, hey, welcome. You want to open an account? What do you want to put? This metal,
Yep.
Okay.
But, so I go about from the safest all the way to the least safe methods. The worst is to have your Bitcoins and your cryptocurrencies on an exchange if you're not trading them.
Okay. The worst. Wow. What do you say is the worst?
Okay. There are many cases of exchange owners disappearing. And, if you all heard of this case called Quadriga, the exchange owner disappeared. Of course, our famous Mt. Gox. Yep. So that's another one of the case. So the audience, you all might want to Google these names, would be good. Yeah, to learn more about them. The next one would be, well, if you put your Bitcoins and your cryptocurrencies on an exchange, you do not own the private keys of these cryptocurrencies and your Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah, and as OGs, we always say, not your private keys, not your Bitcoin.
Does this actually answer Claudia's question over here? The difference into buying Bitcoins in different exchanges, what's important to, have, where the custody are? Is this kind of addressing that as well?
Yeah, so this is where we OGs would prefer to have full custody of our Bitcoins and our cryptocurrencies. The only time when these currencies are actually on wallets, on exchanges, is when we are trading or when we decide to buy and sell. If not, we will not be using those in our savings account in the cold wallets itself.
Okay. So you're
Yeah.
saying it's like, okay, so I'm hearing you right. So you have kind of like, even in normal life, you kind of have two bank accounts. One is
Correct.
the one that you don't touch, your savings
Yes.
account. So that will
Correct.
be a cold wallet. So that's the
Yes.
stuff that you have you printed out, you have a metal piece or the ledger, you're
Okay.
saying.
Yes. Or you use
And
a
then
ledger.
you have the hot one where you do a lot of moving in and out, stuff like that. So that's what you're saying.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
and the hot wallets, what you can use, a common one that we use is actually MyEther wallet, and we also use the blockchain.com wallet.
Mm.
So these are the two common ones. Remember, when you type in any of these wallet names in Google, make sure that the website name is correct when you click. There are a lot of phishing, a lot of bots, and a lot of hackers that put phishing sites on top of these actually.
Mm.
So just take note. What I usually teach people is you write down the link. You make sure that you bookmark the link so you don't keep typing it again and again, because there
Oh,
are chances of you typing wrongly.
so you mean even if you type it wrongly, they can kind of hijack your website?
Yeah, you might have gone into a phishing account, a
Huh.
phishing website itself, and all the transactions that you put there, you open up yourself to a lot of cyber hacks, cyber security risk.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
and on different exchanges, like what Claudia said, right? Asked, right? Different exchanges have different rates, and also they have different jurisdiction. Sometimes it's illegal of people of different countries to transact using certain exchanges because of regulations.
mm,
Yeah. So that's the difference between using wallets of different exchanges, and also some exchanges they actually give you some perks if you are transacting using them. So it's
mm,
all of a personal choice.
okay. So it's kind of like a wallet that pumps up extra money.
Yeah. We hope, right?
I hope. I mean, this one I've been using for a while. This hasn't given me a single cent up to this day. So I'm like, please learn from the wallets, man. Come on, get the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And digital wallets are actually a good source because, like, like many countries in the world have started, because of the COVID, they have started developing their own digital wallets. Yeah.
Okay. So I think my brother's actually asking one question, right? So what's the value of Bitcoin and will it drop or rise? I think this is a common question. Like
Mm.
everybody wants to know whether it's going up or going down. So what do you think?
Well, okay, the value of Bitcoin is based on the value or perception of the whole market itself, of the whole cryptocurrency market. So if most of the people are willing to buy Bitcoin at 9,000, then the value of Bitcoin will be at 9,000. If the general perspective of the market is that they are willing to buy Bitcoin at 6,000, and it will drop to 6,000 then. So this is actually the current way in which Bitcoin is valued, market forces. And will it drop or rise? Is dropping and rising at a high rate compared to most assets in the world at any one time, actually. It is one of the most volatile assets on earth, if you are thinking in terms of fiat value. But
Okay.
if it's value that we ourselves see, I would say that it's valuable.
Hmm.
Uh, the value right now and the value in 5 years' time is going to be a whole different ballgame altogether.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure because even when like Bitcoin itself 10 years ago was so little,
30
now
cents,
it's
bro.
like, wow, 30 cents. My gosh. And now it's like, my gosh, I don't even know how much it is worth. If let's say I bought a dollar's worth to this day, how much it's worth. I have no idea, man. The math just blows my brain. I'm
Yeah,
like a
and
fiat agent.
just imagine, right? There are people that are complaining that they got scammed when they bought it at $20,000. But the thing is this: what is your waiting time frame?
Mm.
How long are you willing to wait? What
Mm.
if next year it rises to 50,000? So am I gonna tell these people that they are stupid and they are scammers also?
Actually, when you mentioned that, I got reminded of the story in your book, actually, of a very promising person. I believe her name is Autumn.
Mm.
Yeah, who
Yes.
actually took her life because of, sad to say, I think she was in Singapore, if I recall the story. She took her life because of the fall or something
Yeah.
happened. Could you share a little bit about what?
And And that's the funny thing. I use the word suicide, not committed suicide.
Mm.
So we know that she didn't commit suicide. She was actually assassinated.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Really? Well, because this is, I mean, this is news to me. I mean, I never really went much into this world itself. So this is getting to some dark stuff, man.
Our world is interesting, has a lot of drama, and you know, because when it comes to finance, when it comes to value, when it comes to money, right, there are so many stakeholders and so many gatekeepers in the ecosystem. We prove to be a threat, and and in the earlier days, because there were people out there like that, and because they proved to be a threat, so certain things happen to them. We have exchange owners in Russia that disappeared and never appeared, even after 7 years.
Okay.
And not because they ran away with the bitcoins or whatever. They literally just disappeared.
Couldn't have
Yeah,
like they have just kind of like cashed in their coins and then just like
yeah.
went to buy
So,
a whole island and then just disappeared there.
and the scary thing is because the bitcoins were still in the exchange, they
Ah, okay.
didn't run away with it. So yeah, so these are things that actually happen in our world. It's some of our uh, part of our dark history and so on.
Mm.
Which is why in my book I put it in a more simple way, and make it into a more futuristic, apocalyptic sense, so that people don't get freaked out because it doesn't look real to them.
Mm.
Yeah,
So for guys, for the what the book you're talking about, this book over here, the Bitcoin Dystopia. So you guys are interested in it, I have already put a link down below in the comment section. So let me see. Yeah. So if you guys want to get his book, you can go to this Amazon link. It actually is in the comments below. You can check it out already. So okay, let me have another question though. When it comes to Bitcoins, with all these coins that are gone, I mean the owner is gone.
yep.
That would say that the no one can access those coins anymore. What will happen to all those coins?
That means that we have less Bitcoin available for transaction on Earth.
Okay.
That is actually of benefit to all of us actually, because the supply now is lesser.
Hmm.
The supply that we are able to transact with is actually lesser,
Okay.
but the supply of fiat is actually increasing day by day. So one is deflationary and one is inflationary.
Ah, I
So
see.
we actually believe that Bitcoin is like a black hole of value, of fiat value. Sooner or later, it's going to suck in all this value. It's just a
Hmm.
matter of time.
Okay. Okay. I like the way you put it. A black hole of.
I play too much games, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So hey, cool. Very cool. So Claudia says she wants that book. All right. So you know who to contact already.
Yeah, Claudia, I'll send you a copy. You just give me your address, man. I'll just send it over.
Yeah. 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 That's like I said, man. Dunstan is such a giver. I mean, he's just giving so much information. But so because we still have a little bit of time, guys, if any questions, we are close to an hour actually. So this is just of us just talking close to an hour. So if you any questions, please feel free to pop in the questions down below. So we can actually just ask Dunstan over here. So Dunstan will be able to answer your questions. Or if not, I'm just gonna keep rambling like this. Okay. So it's something I need to learn how to do.
It's something that we're used to also, right?
Yeah, yeah. But okay, one question I have though is I think when recently I think China started their own crypto coin, kind of in that sense, right?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
These are central bank tokens. They are more like a fiat. It's a digital fiat.
Mm.
So technically, I don't see any level of innovation in that because WeChat, Alipay, and so on, they also have digital representative of fiat.
Yep.
However, the biggest innovation that they did for themselves is this: they can now track every transaction that the users actually have, they make, and so on. What services they buy, what goods they buy, at what time, and so on. That
Mm.
that to me is very scary because the only one piece of data that we haven't given to the governments is your transactional data.
Okay.
With that, right, with AI, they can have a full profile and a complete understanding of how any person behave.
Hmm. So that means if let's say they know your spending habits, they will just kind of design your social media, the stuff you see to always be that same thing.
Correct.
What are the risks or something like that?
Or the risk is for us that we might be subliminally programmed to behave in certain ways. The idea of freedom will no longer exist actually.
Wow, that's really dystopian, man.
Yeah, which is the reason why I actually wrote that book, because these are some of the things that we see and we extrapolate the information we see might be happening. COVID is just an excuse to accelerate the progress of that.
Okay.
Just imagine, man, so much funds were printed in the last 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
and then most of these funds didn't go to the masses actually. They were actually sent and given as loans to the large companies,
Yep.
with the guys that these companies, because they feed a lot of people, they cannot go bankrupt, right? They provide a lot of jobs and so on. But then what happened was, with these funds they still sack the people anyway.
Mm-hmm. Ah,
Yep.
okay. So
And
they get to
part of
keep all the money instead.
correct. And the funds were actually used either to buy back more equity of those companies in the open market, in the private markets, or to line their own pockets.
Okay. How would I mean Claudia is a fan, yeah. She says thank you. Yes. You're a fan, yeah. Okay. So you got you with this date, you come back out of your man. You got to send her the book.
I got a second book, man.
Okay, so in that case, if let's say in the future, Bitcoin becomes the a currency or this is what we use to transact, right? How
Yeah.
would that save this prevent a repetition of what's happening today? You know, when the money is given to the company and the company just keeps it for themselves. Would that prevent something like that?
Yeah, it will actually, because what is happening is Bitcoin has many different components. We have the code itself, the tech itself. We have developers that are supporting and building and upgrading the tech. We have miners that are maintaining the ecosystem. But yet remember that a lot of people say that, oh, now the miners are centralized, they hold so much power, but they take the biggest amount of risk in the whole space because of their operation costs. They have to maintain these mines. Some of them have mines has large, has a whole aircraft hangar.
How big is an aircraft hangar, man?
Well, I have no idea, man. But I visited some of these mines and they are huge. You can't even see the end of the yeah, you almost can't see the end of the wall.
Really? It's kind of like the
Yeah,
Matrix, you know, like after this.
it's amazing, man. Especially the ones in Greenland and Iceland. You can see the high techness of how they did, including their ventilations and so on. It's just crazy, man.
Okay.
And these is the future of money.
So that means what you're saying is that in the future, at least is what we are saying is that we are thinking that in the future, hopefully, Bitcoin becomes the main thing that takes over fiat.
We hope, we believe, but even if it doesn't, it will be another parallel ecosystem.
Okay.
For people who actually don't want to be controlled in their spending, they don't want to be tracked in their spending and so on. Like I say, it becomes their only freedom to transact.
Okay. Oh, my brother has a question over here. When you say miners, who are they?
Well, miners are actually just machines. Actually, um, they are just machines that actually help to generate bitcoins.
I can hear the Terminator soundtrack over there. They are just machines. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so
Carry on.
it does look more apocalyptic, right? Like Skynet and so on happening.
Mm,
Yeah, so actually they are just like that. What they actually represent is they are just machines that are used to maintain the whole Bitcoin network.
mm.
Yeah. So whatever the number of transactions that go on in the whole entire Bitcoin network, these miners or these think of them as GPUs in a sense, since we know more about GPUs and such. Think of them as processing cards that actually help to maintain the network itself.
Okay. So, well, we have this is actually 1 whole hour already, guys. Thank you so much, man, we still have quite a fair number of people who are tuning in. We have like 8 million of you guys who are still watching.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, guys, for still tuning in. All right. I mean, of course, this is shared between different channels. It's just on my page right now. But if there's any more burning questions right now for Dunstan, now is the time, because we are coming to an end. We're going to wrap this up, so we're not going to take too much of time. Again, guys, if you like what Dunstan has been sharing, please hit the like button. Okay, share this video with your friends. Okay, give us a heart. Okay, just give us something. All right, just even if you don't like it, just say I don't like Dunstan, or no, don't like it. Because we're both wearing the same white color glasses. You guys are opposite, so whatever, man. Just yeah.
If you like us, send us a bit more Bitcoins, man.
Yeah, of course, definitely. Yeah, so that would be cool. So yes, I think we can say, I say thanks, Mr. Dunstan. Thank you so much. So we have, I think we've come to the end of this whole thing. So I'm just going to put you out of put out of misery. I'm just going to put you out of the channel. So guys, thank you so much, Dunstan. Thank you so much, bro. We'll chat with you again. All right. Okay, say bye-bye so I can wave you out. All right. Okay, let me just bring it out. Okay, all right, guys. So that's the we finished. We've come to the end of that. Thank you so much for watching the show. And with that being said, I think there's I think I learned a lot and what Dunstan has shared. But what was very cool is that if you did not catch the entire thing, you can actually just go to rewatch my stream. All right, so this whole thing is recorded. It's gonna put up there, not edited. Eventually, I'm gonna put it up the snippets anyway. So yes, so this is Colbert. Thank you so much, man, for tuning in, and thanks, H&D. Yeah, thank you so much. So with that being said, right, the next time we have this show, I'm going to invite more and more speakers to come on the show to share more information, because especially in this COVID-19 era, in this period of time, I think before we started this, I just had a short chat with Dunstan, and it says like this is kind of going to be like the DJ of the future. I don't have a disc beside me. I can't do any of that. So but in the future, I do believe that there'll be some more shows that could be like this, and I hope that in the future, the aspiring everythinger, this channel I'm creating, will provide more value for aspiring entrepreneurs, business owners, maybe just a guy who's just starting out and just want to learn more stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in, and with that being said, we will see you the next time. Thank you so much, and yes, one more time. Go get Dunstan's book. I'll put a link in the description below. So he has a good book over here, the Bitcoin Dystopia. I've read it. I've read a few chapters of it. It's very, very interesting. So check it out. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time on my next show. See ya.
Not a smooth talker, under pressure. Sweaty palms ain't making it much better. Something about you feels so special. Pretty over from the minute that I met you.